We are tracking a major firestorm after Rihanna joked that Miami has plenty of BBLs, but not enough pretty faces. While some fans laughed, others say she crossed the line. Word is, Nicki Minaj is furious, and her reaction is bringing old drama back to the surface. Let us catch you up. December 2025. Rihanna is hosting a Fenty Beauty event in Miami. The venue is packed. She is talking about cosmetic standards, about the beauty industry, and creating something bigger than makeup. Suddenly, someone asks her about Miami beauty culture. The city is famous for it. It is plastic surgery central, the BBL capital. She could have played it safe, but she did not. Miami has plenty of BBLs, she says, but not enough pretty faces. The room reacts. Some laugh, but our team knew instantly that this clip would go completely viral on social media, because when you are Rihanna, standing in Miami, calling out BBL culture in front of a modified crowd who got work done, you are not just sharing a casual observation, you are making a statement. The video hit the internet before she even left the stage. TikTok and X immediately pick it up, and Instagram goes wild. Within minutes, Nicki Minaj fans declared war, because we all know who represents that specific Miami look. We know who has been the poster child of the BBL era for 10 years. Rihanna just threw major shade without saying her name. Nicki saw it. She is always watching. She catches every single subtweet and slick comment that people think is hidden, but is actually obvious. And this call-out was not subtle at all. Rihanna is dissing a city where Nicki has performed countless times, where her signature style is worshipped, and where a whole surgery market is built around the specific look she popularized, calling it cheap. Nicki hit back on X, and her post is classic Nicki. Exactly what we expect from a star who spent 15 years defending her brand. She left out Rihanna's name. She did not need it. The message was loud. I built my empire on these curves. Every decision was mine. Every dollar's mine. Keep crying. The quote tweets started flooding in. Her fans are dragging Rihanna, while her supporters say she told the truth. Everyone else is just watching. Two massive fan bases collide over a comment that took 3 seconds to say and will fuel weeks of drama. But here is what hits differently. Rihanna is not some gossip blogger or a random person online, taking shots from the safety of anonymity. She is an equal with just as much power, just as much influence, and the same voice in defining beauty. When Rihanna says Miami has plenty of BBLs, but not enough pretty faces, she is punching across, and Nicki knows it. Her sharp comment works on multiple levels. On the surface, it is about Miami and the city's obsession with cosmetic surgery, and how artificial look has become so normalized that natural beauty is the exception. Rihanna built Fenty around celebrating natural features and inclusivity that does not require any modification. Critiquing a city built on surgery is completely on brand for her. But the deeper message is louder. Miami's BBL culture did not appear out of nowhere. It was popularized by major celebrities, music videos, and social media influencers in entertainment who made curves the ultimate standard in surgery, the way to get there. The biggest name in that conversation is Nicki Minaj. Her look has been heavily discussed since she hit the mainstream. The Pink Friday era, the famous Anaconda video, and every red carpet. Her iconic figure has been closely analyzed, celebrated, and heavily criticized. The endless speculation about her procedures has followed her everywhere, and whether she confirms it or not, she is the face of this aesthetic. When we discuss the BBL trend in pop culture, we talk about Nicki. When we debate the industry pushing women towards surgery, we talk about her. When we dissect Miami's transformation into plastic surgery central, we analyze stars who made that specific look desirable. Nicki is at the top. So, Rihanna's comment in Miami is not just about the city, it is about the entire culture. Nicki is that culture's biggest face for over a decade. Her fans started pulling receipts immediately. They are posting old photos of Rihanna. They are questioning her own beauty evolution, arguing that if Rihanna wants to lecture us about natural beauty, we must examine what natural actually means. Fans are firing back. Like and subscribe to follow this feud. We're seeing Nicki's transformation photos resurface, alongside old quotes where she actually discussed her surgeries. Commentators argue Rihanna was just being brutally honest, not body shaming. But behind the scenes, we found the real beef. This is years of silent friction finally reaching a boiling point. We know Nicki and Rihanna have been keeping their distance for years, dominating the same charts, sharing the same spotlight, but they've avoided any collaborations, skipped supporting each other's projects, and refused to show the unity fans expect from female icons. If you like this breakdown, hit subscribe. Now, the main players are finally giving their stand bases the confrontation they wanted. Nicki's post on X racked up millions of views in mere hours. The metrics are wild. Everyone's picking sides. Half the internet claims Nicki has every right to bite back against Rihanna's unnecessary shade. The rest insist Rihanna spoke facts, arguing the BBL craze has gone too far, and someone had to call it out. Our team agrees there's no debating the shade, because Rihanna's phrasing makes it obvious. Too many BBLs, not enough pretty faces. The insult is baked in. If you got work done, you aren't naturally beautiful. If you copy that look, you're ruining the culture. And if you're Nicki Minaj, whose entire music brand is built on that exact body type, Rihanna basically told a crowded room exactly what she thinks. Nicki's swift response proves she felt that shot directly. We see she's not trying to brush this off or act oblivious. She knows it was targeted. The Barbs know it. Rihanna knows it too. Now, the beef is public, and there is absolutely no turning back. The replies on social media are highly polarized. We see fans defending her agency, arguing her body is her choice, and recalling years of low-key jabs from Rihanna. This is just the first time it went loud. Naturally, critics are flooding the thread too, claiming Nicki's reaction shows Rihanna struck a major nerve. They argue a secure superstar wouldn't have bothered to answer. Others insist Rihanna has every right to critique modern beauty standards without it being a personal assault. But let's look closer. When you're an icon at Nicki's level, having spent over a decade under a microscope, with every single physical change debated and judged by the public, you don't get to just play cool. We know you can't ignore a diss from another top artist when the entire world knows it's about you. If you stay silent, the narrative immediately becomes that Rihanna won and Nicki backed down. And we know Nicki's brand is based on never backing down from a fight, so she claps back. And that response confirms exactly what our team already knew. This iconic celebrity feud is not fan fiction. The heat is very real. And now we get to watch it unfold live. To grasp why Rihanna's Miami comment hit so hard, we have to analyze what Nicki's signature image represents, not just for her own brand, but for how hip-hop culture defines female beauty. While Nicki did not invent the hourglass, look, she absolutely mastered it. From her debut in the mainstream spotlight, her visuals were tied directly to her hits. The colorful wigs, daring outfits, and undeniable curves. She never hid it. She never apologized for it. It was the core of her brand. Naturally, the rumors started instantly. Was it natural or surgical? The public spent over a decade dissecting every single red carpet photo and video for clues. Nicki teased the media without ever fully confirming a thing. She joked in interviews, threw hints in lyrics, and shared stunning photos that flaunted her shape. She commanded the headlines by keeping us guessing, which meant the internet never stopped talking about her. Meanwhile, the BBL trend exploded in Hollywood during the 2010s, making Nicki the poster child of the movement. This specific cosmetic procedure, the Brazilian butt lift, which transfers excess fat to reshape the figure, became the ultimate gold standard across the industry for achieving that extreme hourglass look on social media and red carpets. We know Nicki never confessed to getting work done, but the visuals spoke volumes. If you like this, hit that like button. Her Anaconda music video became a massive cultural moment because it unapologetically celebrated that exact body shape. We watched her flaunt those curves with absolute pride. Her lyrics constantly celebrated her physique, while her red carpet style was custom-tailored to highlight every single inch. She never wanted the chatter to stop. She wanted to control the conversation, completely on her terms. To us, that's real power in an industry notorious for constant body shaming, and then criticizing them again when they change. Nicki uniquely turned her aesthetic into both a weapon and a protective shield. She leveraged it to push music, capture headlines, and build a massive visual brand, recognized across the globe. When media critics tried targeting her, she easily flipped the script to expose them as the real issue. Hit subscribe to join our daily hip-hop coverage. Maintaining control over a narrative about your body when millions feel entitled to comment, is exhausting. It seems every new photo is intensely analyzed. Every appearance is compared to the last. The public drafts timelines and makes endless, wild assumptions. They treat a star's body like public domain, demanding answers for every single cosmetic decision. Nicki has faced this scrutiny for 15 years, managing dedicated fans who praise her look alongside harsh critics who mock it. Some say she empowers women, while others claim she fuels toxic beauty standards. We've seen countless think pieces analyzing her massive impact on young audiences, and doctors using her name for unauthorized promotions. Through it all, she has handled the pressure without slowing down. Drop a like if you agree, because Rihanna's comment hits different since it comes from a peer at the peak. Another icon who knows intense media scrutiny and has been modeled as the ultimate standard. Someone who truly understands this pressure. Yet instead of sisterhood, it feels like a call-out. That explains Nicki's lightning-fast clapback. If even Rihanna, an artist who survived this exact landscape and faced identical heavy expectations, is throwing subtle jabs, then who is truly safe? If these top-tier female moguls cannot make space for diverse ideals of beauty, what are we even doing? Our analysis shows this debate has deep historical layers of both race and class. The bold silhouettes celebrated in hip-hop and minority communities were once ridiculed by mainstream media until white influencers co-opted them. Nicki faced constant criticism while pop culture praised others for the same features. This glaring double standard wasn't missed by her fans or by the artist herself. So when Rihanna took a Miami stage and claimed the city has plenty of BBLs but lacks pretty faces, the underlying jab was undeniable. That plenty directly references the signature look Nicki popularized. Insinuating a lack of beauty suggests cosmetic work and natural looks cannot coexist, and this narrative places Rihanna, who leverages Fenty for organic beauty, on a high horse above women, making alternative aesthetic choices. But Nicki's entire brand empire thrives on those exact choices. Every single surgical change and visual pivot was strategic marketing. Now, Rihanna is claiming her natural, Fenty, approach is objectively superior. If you love these breakdowns, like this video. This is a direct challenge to Nicki built. After all, Nicki helped shape the very aesthetic Rihanna targeted. We know Nicki championed that BBL movement. The preference for enhanced looks over natural features was something she successfully monetized for a decade. So when Rihanna draws this line, she targets more than a city, she targets an entire rap legacy. And Nicki clearly knows it. That explains why the response came so fast and hit so hard. This goes far beyond defending a single cosmetic procedure. It is about protecting the cultural empire she built under endless physical scrutiny. She refuses to let any peer, even one with Rihanna's massive influence, diminish her personal choices or deem her less than. While Nicki leveraged physical transformations, Rihanna built her empire on natural authenticity. Recognizing this philosophical divide explains why that Miami comment was no accident. It represents years of Rihanna branding herself as the definitive counter-narrative in this industry. Fenty Beauty launched in 2017, instantly disrupting the market with 40 diverse shades and marketing that embrace skin tones, textures, and faces previously ignored by major brands. She did not just sell cosmetics. She launched a global movement with a clear message. You are beautiful exactly as you are. This core ideology guides her brand. From Savage X Fenty, shows boasting diverse body sizes, let's look at age and background. Fenty Skin prioritizes real glow over thick makeup. Every product launch and interview pushes the exact same message. Love who you are, do not change. Rihanna herself has lived this philosophy, showing up to major events, makeup-free and posting raw photos, while opening up about skin struggles and weight changes. She rejected industry standards completely. Our editors noticed she positioned herself as a proud anti-perfectionist in a business built on flawless lies. It worked. Fenty is worth billions, making Rihanna a billionaire. Hit subscribe right now. This raw message forced every cosmetics giant to struggle to keep pace. But we see a clash emerging. While Rihanna builds this natural cosmetics empire, the music and modeling industries move the exact opposite way. Think about the Instagram face and BBL aesthetics, the extreme fillers, filters, and surgical makeovers. These became so standard that modern audiences forget they are watching highly manufactured images. Nicki Minaj stands at the center. Yet Rihanna has discussed industry pressure, not targeting Nicki directly, but targeting toxic expectations. In old interviews, our team noted she explained how show business forces women into rigid molds, demanding styles that require non-stop medical upkeep. Rihanna has made it very obvious that she completely rejects this, striving to establish a brand new space and elevate real women. That is highly respectable, explaining why her massive impact extends far past music and into real cultural reform. However, this creates a sharp divide. If Rihanna represents the organic, authentic, and liberating path, where does that leave Nicki Minaj? Our commentary team notes Rihanna avoided saying this aloud until Miami too many BBLs, not enough natural beauty. The harsh divide is built right into her words. One side has surgery, the other, natural beauty. Artificial versus authentic, leaving a very clear implication that you cannot choose both. If you are Nicki Minaj, someone who has always been open about her physical transformations and body image, that viral quote feels like a direct shot, regardless of what Rihanna's team claimed. Let us be honest. Rihanna's point makes total sense. Hollywood pressure genuinely forces women into cosmetic procedures. The demand to maintain unrealistic aesthetics is incredibly toxic. Normalizing surgery as a basic requirement for pop stardom is a massive issue. Her critique is entirely valid, but it only tells half the story. Because women like Nicki, who intentionally choose body modifications to construct their visual brand and identity, are not passive victims or puppets. They are making active decisions, and those decisions hold a massive amount of power. Nicki's image has generated massive income, cultural influence, and absolute control in a business that tries to strip all three from female artists. She monetized her physical shape to become one of the wealthiest women in hip-hop history. She actively used her style to control narratives, sell platinum records, and build a globally recognized empire. She reclaimed what critics used to shame women, surgical body modifications, and flipped it into a powerful flex. This represents a different brand of female empowerment than Fenty's, but it remains empowerment. When Rihanna stood on that stage in Miami, drawing a sharp boundary against cosmetic surgery culture, she is doing more than rejecting a trend. She is actively dismissing Nicki Minaj's entire worldview. Rihanna remains highly calculated here, never naming specific individuals. She carefully avoids direct attacks, keeping statements broad so she can insist she is merely analyzing systemic issues, not specific artists. But you and I know the truth. The internet knows, the Barbs know, and Nicki knows. Being one of few female rappers at that peak, having founded a global brand, on the exact look Rihanna publicly dismisses, there is no way to see this as random. Every remark Rihanna delivers on organic beauty versus surgical modifications feels targeted. Whenever she proudly notes she skipped the operating table, rap fans interpret it as a jab at the star who embraced plastic surgery. Drop a like if you agree. Perhaps Rihanna has zero bad intentions. Perhaps she is speaking solely on corporate expectations and personal decisions. However, intent never overrides real-world impact. The fallout from her recent Miami statements was undeniable. Nicki Minaj felt shaded, her Barbs felt shaded, and millions of listeners instantly recognized it as Rihanna finally speaking her mind after years of silence. But let us analyze the history of Nicki and Rihanna. There has never been an official rap war. No direct diss tracks, no hostile social media callouts, and no on-stage callouts targeting each other with absolute raw malice. Yet this Cold War has continuously simmered beneath the surface, revealing itself during minor moments through constant online fan wars. Both icons meticulously dodge each other in public settings, even as their fan bases remain locked in conflicts. Let us go back to the early 2010s. Nicki is emerging, while Rihanna reigns supreme. We have watched two powerhouse Barbadian icons dominate music, shattering barriers while conquering the global charts. On paper, they should have been natural allies, but they have barely shared a stage despite dominating the same room. We saw them at the same award shows and industry events, yet a collaboration or public friendship never materialized. When our team asked why, the excuses were always vague, citing scheduling conflicts and nothing more. They claimed different creative directions, But the fans knew better, sparking an intense war between their massive fan bases. This war started early, rooted in who deserves the crown, especially since Rihanna made it to the top first. Nicki arrived louder, though. Now, Rihanna is the billionaire mogul, while Nicki reigns supreme as the rap queen. Rihanna has undeniable cultural influence, while Nicki delivers unmatched musical output. But the internet cannot tolerate two active queens. As the fan bases picked sides, the artists became symbols of this war. Subscribe now as we unravel this intense rivalry. Every single time Nicki released a new album, Rihanna's loyal navy worked tirelessly to diminish her chart success. And whenever Rihanna dropped a beauty product, the Barbs accused her of completely abandoning her music career. These petty fan battles were entirely predictable, yet both artists maintained a strategic, mostly silent distance from each other. They would leave a random like, but nothing ever confirmed the deep-seated tension we all suspected. Until recently, Nicki dragged Rihanna's name into her feud with Megan Thee Stallion, shattering their unspoken peace. In early 2024, at the height of that drama, Nicki claimed Megan wanted a tragic Rihanna moment. She referenced Rihanna's infamous domestic abuse case, implying that Megan was leveraging trauma just to gain public sympathy. It was a brutal, calculated move that crossed every single line of the quiet truce they had maintained. The public backlash was swift and severe. Drop a like if you remember this explosive drama. Critics dragged Nicki for weaponizing trauma, while activists labeled her comments as blatant victim blaming. Even loyal supporters distanced themselves, proving the comment was completely out of bounds for most hip-hop commentators. It confirmed what we suspected. Nicki did not respect Rihanna. Yet, Rihanna chose absolute silence in response. She never acknowledged the jab publicly. She simply kept moving, which is a classic, signature move. Her unbothered attitude was a power move, but silence does not automatically equal forgiveness in this industry. She did not forget, and neither did her navy. When that Miami incident happened, we saw the reaction. It felt like a delayed strike. 18 months of silence ended by one sharp sentence about BBLs. Everyone knew the shade was aimed directly at Nicki, making the entire Miami moment completely explosive. This is not just about beauty standards. It is about a decade of unresolved tension and fan-base wars. It is about two legendary women who have circled each other for years, avoiding a direct confrontation. The Miami comment did not start this war. It simply confirmed that the beef was always there. Now that the feud is out in the open, there is no going back. Nicki's public retaliation made sure of that, proving she caught the shade and refuses to let it slide. She escalated their feud from subtle shade to direct text, and now it is all we can discuss. With the war intensifying, the Barbs are actively digging up every old receipt on Rihanna. They are highlighting old interviews where she contradicted herself and photos suggesting she had cosmetic work done. They are building a case that Rihanna is far from the perfect saint she portrays herself to be. Her critics argue her stance on natural beauty is hypocritical and that she has targeted Nicki for years. Now, she was finally sloppy enough to make it obvious. Meanwhile, the Navy is retaliating fiercely. They are posting every past controversy, every feud, and every time Nicki was accused of online bullying. They claim Nicki's insecurity is the real issue, arguing she is defensive because she knows the criticisms are valid. Rihanna clearly hit a raw nerve. In the middle of this chaos, the core question gets lost again. Is this really about body standards? Or is it about two music icons competing for the crown? They have fought for the same cultural influence for over a decade and finally found an excuse to clash. The answer is likely both. That Miami remark touched on something real regarding their opposing beauty philosophies. It highlights how they view power, fame, and what it truly means to reign supreme at the top. It ultimately gave a direct voice to a rivalry built over years. This underlying tension has always existed, but we finally have a clear flashpoint. Where do we go from here? Let's analyze exactly what happened after that Miami moment and how it impacts both superstars moving forward. Rihanna's Fenty showcase wraps up. She exits the stage, and the clip immediately goes viral. Before she even reaches her hotel, Nicki's loyal Barbs flood the comments. By the time she wakes up the next day, Nicki has fired back. But Rihanna, she goes completely silent. That is the ultimate bad girl playbook. Drop your statement once, let it breathe, and refuse to engage with the noise. Why give this drama more oxygen than necessary? She took a direct shot at Miami's BBL culture. Rihanna made her stance on natural beauty versus enhancements crystal clear, then simply moved on. But Nicki is taking the polar opposite approach. She is doubling down. staying incredibly active on social media from the very second she watched that video. She is posting about her empire, her personal decisions, and building her multi-million-dollar brand from scratch without apologizing to anyone. She is letting us know that Rihanna's comment was definitely not the mic drop she originally intended. It was a clear challenge, and Nicki is accepting it. Now, her fan base is in complete defense mode, organizing threads and cataloging every single time Rihanna has allegedly thrown shade at their queen. They are digging up old interviews of Rihanna discussing other women in the music industry and dissecting old lyrics for hidden shots. It is what loyal fan bases do, building an absolute case that their leader is totally right. Meanwhile, Rihanna's Navy is retaliating just as fiercely. Make sure to hit like as they compile Nicki's most controversial past moments. They are even posting massive essays, arguing that surgical beauty trends have damaged the self-esteem of young girls. They are actively arguing that Rihanna's statement was not simple shade, but brilliant social commentary. If Nicki felt targeted, they claim it says more about Nicki's own insecurities than about Rihanna. We have seen relentless coverage as entertainment outlets publish dozens of daily articles. Pop culture critics are weighing in on everything from personal body autonomy to messy celebrity feuds and the current state of women in hip-hop. Everyone has a strong opinion now. Some of us defend Rihanna, claiming she can critique toxic beauty culture without being accused of launching a malicious attack. They argue that assuming she meant Nicki reveals how the public unfairly views both stars. Additionally, they think Nicki's extreme defensiveness proves the jab hit exactly where it was intended, but others stand with Nicki. They insist Rihanna knew exactly what she was doing. To them, referencing plenty of BBLs and pretty faces was obviously a targeted insult, and pretending otherwise is just foolish. They claim Rihanna has acted morally superior for years, using this to tear down another woman and boost herself. But honestly, many of us in the industry are exhausted. We are tired of the beef, tired of seeing female icons pitted against each other, and tired of every discussion transforming into a toxic competition about authenticity and talent. But regardless of how we feel, this huge debate rolls on. Both artists are simply too massive to ignore. Every post, statement, and social media update is instantly dissected by commentators and transformed into content. That Miami exchange has grown way beyond a simple headline. It is a major pop culture event, and neither wants to back down. Nicki is posting constantly, proving she is totally unbothered by external criticism, secure in her decisions, and definitely not allowing anyone not Rihanna, the Navy, or the music industry dictate how she defines her own beauty. Rihanna continues to stay quiet. She does not need to speak. She made her point and left it there. That is the fascinating power dynamic here. Nicki must fire back because her entire brand relies on being incredibly unfiltered and unapologetic. Rihanna has no need to reply, since her identity is built around staying completely above online drama. Both marketing strategies are highly effective, but they also guarantee one thing: this tense standoff is not ending anytime soon. The Miami exchange has already fundamentally altered, highly defensive and insecure. Meanwhile, Rihanna is being labeled as overly judgmental and deeply hypocritical under the fake guise of female empowerment. We find both of these views incredibly reductive, yet they are exactly what social media does, flattening a highly nuanced, complicated dispute into a simple headline. But the actual truth is way messier. Rihanna raised a valid point about toxic music industry beauty standards. At the same time, Nicki highlighted the crucial importance of bodily autonomy and personal medical freedom without shame. They are simply approaching a massive cultural problem from completely different perspectives, different experiences, and clashing ideas about what true female empowerment looks like. But in the court of public opinion, nuance simply does not sell. It never trends. So, the narrative quickly becomes Rihanna versus Nicki, and everyone chooses a side. One thing is clear: Miami changed everything. It dragged their unspoken tension into the light, giving this massive rivalry a very public face. It confirmed what we all already suspected, but nobody wanted to say out loud. Nicki Minaj and Rihanna are not friends. They are not allies. They are rivals in an industry that only has room for one female superstar. If you are enjoying this deep dive, hit like. They have both fought so long. The battle has become the main headline. Now, we have to ask what comes next. Will Nicki clap back every time Rihanna makes a statement? Will Rihanna stay quiet, or will she finally address this drama directly? Do their massive fan bases ever call a truce, or is this our new normal? Two music icons circling each other while millions of spectators watch and choose sides. That shocking Miami incident opened a door that neither icon can easily close. The tension is fully out in the open. Their core philosophies are in direct conflict, the fan bases are entrenched, and the internet is already hunting for the next chapter, the next post, the next awkward moment where these two are forced to acknowledge one another in the exact same room. Honestly, that might be the real story here. Not the specific shots about BBLs or the sharp responses about building empires, but the broader reality that two women at the absolute top of their game cannot coexist without sparking a massive war. This industry simply won't let them. The toxic fan bases won't let them. The media machine that thrives on beef won't let them. So, they clash, out in the open now, ditching the quiet subliminal diss tracks. And we watch as two of the most powerful women in the music industry try to share space at the peak when the entire system is built to ensure only one of them can stand there at a time. That Miami comment was just the spark. What burns next depends on whether either superstar chooses to walk away or if they are both too proud to let this drama go. Subscribe for more hip-hop updates. Nicki deactivated her Instagram amid heavy backlash, with news outlets reporting massive outrage following her latest public appearance. Broadcasters are criticizing Nicki over this Rihanna drama, alongside her controversial comments targeting Megan Thee Stallion. Radio hosts are debating her dramatic body transformation. Comment your thoughts below.